Hello and welcome to this introduction to the CPD-Apply system, specifically for education provider leads. CPD-Apply is a new computer system which sees NHS Trust employees apply online for courses at your higher education institution. The system presents your course catalogue, the individual picks a course and fills in their details, management at the trust approve their application, and then the system presents it to you for approval. Let's sign in as a fictional HEI lead and take a look around. It's the green panel to sign in, then enter your username and password. There's a dashboard of live summary data occupying most of the home page here, which we'll look at shortly. But first, the menu headers along the top give us an idea of the facilities available to you within CPD-Apply. Applications is where you view and approve or reject individuals' applications to join one of your modules. Modules is where you manage the details of your modules and add new ones. And Reports offers you a set of pre-written reports, plus a custom report builder. More of those later, after we've looked at the dashboard on the home screen. Application status by employer shows you how many individual applications the service providers or trusts have approved or rejected or still have waiting approval. Next, application status by provider shows how many you and your HEI have approved, rejected or still have waiting for approval. In training shows how many students you have on module within year from the trusts. The wide New Starts bar graph shows a monthly breakdown of new starters. The completed chart counts how many completers in year, and the total spend chart summarises resources used. That's the dashboard, which gives you a live overview of your activity at any time, but the main functions are available from those menus. Your early use of CPD-Apply may well be to approve applications. When an application has been filled in and has gone through any necessary internal approval by the trust, the system will email you, the HEI lead, to tell you that you need to approve an application. If we look under Applications Awaiting Approval, there are some waiting for us. If you know straight away that an application is acceptable, you can click Approve and then Update to process it. Indeed, if there are a lot here, you can click them all and then Update to process them all at once. But if you want to check the detail of an application, just click the Learner number. That shows you the person's completed application form. And right at the bottom you can see any internal approvals that this has gone through already. Here it's just waiting for the HEI's approval. And if you're satisfied, you can click Approve here. Once you've approved or indeed rejected an application, the system sends an automatic email to the learner themselves to let them know. Other facilities back on the Applications menu. If you want to look at someone in particular, you can search approved applications by name, by learner number, and/or by module. Application Rejected shows you all that you've rejected so far. And Learner Extract offers you a list of various sets of your data, which you can export as either an Excel file or as a PDF. Moving on, the Modules menu lets you manage what module or course information is published on the CPD-Apply system. This part of the system is very powerful, so we'll look carefully at each of the three facilities. Firstly, the system is set up to accept Excel spreadsheets containing details of your modules. So with the top item on the menu, you can import new modules. Do take special note of the sample Excel file. For your upload to work, you have to fill in the pink columns, but the green ones, campus and module code, are optional. Most of the columns are self-explanatory, but looking at a few of them in detail, there are two options for cost, either cost or CAT 20 cost. Cost is in pounds, but you don't need to put the pound symbol, just the whole number of pounds. CAT 20 is the system used in Greater Manchester and is the CAT 20 cost familiar to HEIs in that region. In either case, if no cost applies, please be sure to put a 0 here. Start date should be in DDMMYYYY format, unless the mode of study is e-learning or distance learning, in which case you should leave it blank. For mode of study, just use one of the codes which are explained on the other tab in the example spreadsheet. For personal supporting information required, please enter Y for yes or N for no. If you choose Y, an extra field will appear for this module on the student's application screen, asking them for supporting information. For the URL, please type in the web address for the specific page on your website which covers this module. And if the same module is running on more than one date, please complete a new additional line for each other instance. When your file is ready, back on the import screen you can browse to pick it up from your local drive, and then click Import. The system accepts both XLS and the newer XLSX files. That was importing new modules, but if you just need to add one module, choose the New Module option. Here you input the name, the address of your own web page about it, the level and credit. The provider will already be filled in with your institution's name. Then a minimum and maximum capacity, the campus. Choose a mode of study, then the month and year of this intake, the start date, your internal code, then the cost, or the CAT 20 cost for Greater Manchester, and whether you want the applicant to fill in a supporting statement on their application screen. Then simply Add Module. That publishes the module to your catalogue, and people can now apply for it online. However, as we'll see in a moment, you still have the discretion to approve or cancel the module depending on its viability. So, back on the menu, we'll choose Manage Modules. And here are all your modules listed. When you see a title more than once, that's where there's more than one intake. And you can see at a glance the status of each module, whether it's being cancelled or approved. If you click on the Manage Module link next to any one, you get the full detail. Here you can change almost any detail, in which case you need to click Update Module to commit your changes. Below that, if this module has been deemed viable, you can approve it. If you do so, the system sends an automatic email to all approved applicants to let them know. The box which pops up here offers you the opportunity to add any extra information to that email. Either type some information in and click Confirm, or leave it blank and click Confirm to send the default message. Alternatively, if the module was deemed unviable, you can cancel it. That brings up a similar box, but here you're asked to choose a reason for the cancellation, with any explanatory text you wish to type in. That populates an automatic email which the system sends to approved applicants. Again, once you've finished, click Confirm to commit the change. There is a Remove Module button, but you should only use that if you made a mistake during the module import process. That was a look through the facilities on the Modules menu. Now let's move on to the reports. Most of the options here are pre-written reports, which you can run quickly at any time, with the exception of the bottom option, which allows you to build your own. Looking at a couple of examples, Learners by Employer shows you how many learners your institution has on each of your modules, split by service provider or trust. While Completers by Employer shows how many learners have completed each module, along with their outcomes, again split by trust. In all of these pre-written reports, you can change the date parameters, scroll through the pages, zoom in and out, search for a word, export in a variety of formats, refresh if you've made any changes, and print to your local printer. Looking at the report builder, here imagine that your institution's whole dataset is waiting in the background, and you now have to make choices from these various panels to narrow the dataset down to a final table, and in each case choose whether or not to have that field displayed. So, as a fictional example, let's say I want a list of learners from Pennine Acute who've started a certain group of courses in the past 2 intakes. I'll start by confirming that I'm from the University of Chester. I can't see any other institution's details, nor can they see mine. And for clarity, I'd like our name displayed as a column in the result. I'm not interested in those 2 intakes, just the first 2. And these are the 3 modules I'm interested in. The list automatically only shows my own institution's modules. I just want to see Pennine's learners. And I won't narrow down by demographics, but for reference, these choices are useful for diversity monitoring. I could also choose a staff group. Only people who passed or failed. The reason if learning ended without completion. For now, I input a date range, and I'd like to include the individual's names. Finally, I click Generate to produce the report. Although there are only a couple of lines in this fictional result, my choices have narrowed down my dataset to just the information I wanted, and the fields I chose above are all included as columns. At this point, you can go back up the screen and change any parameter, then click Generate again to produce a new report. OK, that was the reporting features. To finish, some final points back on the home screen. At the top, there's a link for My Details. Here, you can change your email address, name, and password. And always remember to log out each time you've finished using the system. Thank you for watching. We hope you and your institution find CPD-Apply beneficial.